Top of the week to you traders. This is Chris Buss with Traders Profit Compass with your morning look at markets for Monday, April 26th. Okay, hope you guys had a nice weekend. Let's dive right into it. Taking a quick look at futures. Really the only thing that's moving is oil and copper. Oil down about 1.6% and copper up about 1.8%. Copper has really got a bid under it for quite a while and seemingly driving higher every day. As you probably know, we've got an earnings avalanche this week. I think 7 of the top 10 S&P 500 companies are reporting, and quite a bit of mega cap tech. We've got Tesla Monday. Tuesday, we've got Microsoft and Google. Wednesday, we've got Apple and Facebook. And Thursday, we've got Amazon. And one thing that's kind of nice is all of those are after the bell. So there may be some nice trading ops as far as, run-ups right into earnings where you can get, a good runner early in the morning and then close it out right before the end of the day, right before the earnings announcement. But let's go ahead and look at SPY. You'll remember on Thursday we had the Biden scare with the what do you call it? Capital gains tax. They dumped that at the end of the day, and then bought it right back up on Friday. So today, I think the setup is pretty easy. Just key off of 417. If there's a breakout above 417, I think the trade is to be long with a stop just below. We've got this consolidation trading range here from 410.50 to 417. So that's let's call that 650. So if we can convincingly break out here above 417, your measured move would be like 423 in that range, 423, 423.50. So that would be, of course, the width of this box added to the top of the consolidation range, which puts you up at 423.50. Okay, on SPY, on the blow up on Wednesday, we had 414 as our buy level for active traders, and we got an impulsive move right out of the gate. And once that 414 was taken out, as you'll recall, that was our 50% halfback retracement. If this was going to go, be a bearish continuation move down, bounce to 50% and then down, that didn't happen. So once that was taken out, that was your buy level, and then you got good follow through right to the end of the day. So if you got that entry point there, you were golden for the rest of the day, which was an awesome trade. You got about $3 out of that. Same general idea for the Qs. We had the bad day at the office on Thursday, and then all these tags of the gap. We said stay long against 334, top of the gap, and you got a good trade the rest of the day. I think today, let's look at the 30-minute chart. Here was the move we were talking about. That held, the top of the gap held, and then we had the gap open Monday morning. And if you didn't just grab it right away, your next buying opportunity was this 337.25, and if you got it there, you got your $3 move up to 340. I think today it's pretty simple. Above 340, be long. Below 340, I don't think this is a big shorting market right now. One thing I didn't mention is we've got the FOMC on Wednesday. So I think if there's hesitation below 340, I think it's basically two things: holding and putting in a holding pattern for big cap tech earnings to come out, and or holding pattern for the FOMC. And despite the FOMC having a meeting, they're not going to say anything different. But the market always seems to hesitate right before those events because there's always the 2% chance that Jay Powell could say something or have some additional information. So, but I think the odds kind of favor a move above 340. So I would be looking for the long above 340 versus trying to get too cute with some, short. It is objective. I mean, if you want to do it, that's fine. Just put your stop right above 340, and if it pops, then you've got to quickly get out and refocus on the long trade. IWM, same modus operandi. Bad day on Thursday, and they bought that right back up and right into the teeth of this 226 resistance. Again today, I think you're long above 226, and below, just be cautious because it would be open back down to 223, but I think it's pretty clear. 226 is your pivot. Moving quickly on to IWM. Here was the little move above and dump into the close. I think if we can take out the highs of Friday at 226.50, then your next target, and I got these off of longer time frames, 228 and then 230. If this were to pull in to 225.50, I think you can try a long right there and then get aboard here with a stop just below and then look for a push up to 226, 226.50, and then hopefully on out to 228 and above. Let's jump into FANG real quick. Now, Facebook reports Wednesday after the bell. And here we can see that price has popped this downtrend channel or this downtrend resistance line and is currently pinned under the 50 EMA. Remember, this is a 60-minute chart, but all the EMAs and the technical analysis still hold. So we've got the 50 EMA at 302. If you're interested and you think there's going to be a pre-earnings run and price can pop 302, I think you can get long against 302. Look for a run to 305, which was the prior breakout. And if you got a breakout above 305, then your target is 310. So, and that would be something where you might want to consider. Let's say it has a day today where it pops 302 and starts to move ahead of earnings. If you take your long, that might be one you want to hold overnight for a potential follow-up on Tuesday and Wednesday, and maybe even get a push up towards 310. But once you're in, if you get in at 302 and then you take out 305, that's an opportunity to raise up your stop. And of course, if it were to take out 310, you're golden at that point, and then move up your stops again. I wouldn't hold it into earnings. I mean, that's my style, but you can do, of course, what you want and trade it the way you see fit. Apple, big consolidate, well, not big, maybe big on this scale, 60-minute. Got a consolidation range between 131.50 and 135. If it can pop 135, I think you can look for a measured move target, adding 350 to that and look for a measured move up above 137, 138. And if you go back to the daily chart, this 137 is a really, really big level. So if it can pop that, and you weren't in down here and you didn't take that trade, I mean, at that point, you would have earnings, the following day. So, I mean, you could take a long here at 137 if you wanted to. I think you make up your mind early what you want to do today. And if you get that move above 135, I think you take it and then see where it leads. And then if you pop 137, you could move up your stops. But pretty clear, 135 is your resistance level. Tesla's today after the bell. You can see that price is working inside this consolidation triangle. We said that this 725 is your key pivot, and I still think that's the case. As long as it holds 725, I think you can be long. I think it'll get some momentum if it can pop the downtrend line and really get some room to move above 750 and possibly come up here to 780. That might be a lot to ask running into earnings, but you never know. You got to be ready. I would, if you want to trade it, 725 is your level. As long as that holds, I think you can be long with minimal downside here below, and see what happens today ahead of earnings. Microsoft, another consolidation range between 256 and 261. On Friday, spent a lot of time, 4 or 5 hours, stoned here at 261. I think if you pop it, you get long with a $5 consolidation range. Above 261, I think you look for 266. Amazon. If I look at this thing in totality, it looks like a bull flag to me. Here's the impulsive move off the floor, and here's your consolidation flag. I think you use 33.50 as your pivot. As long as price recovers 33.50, you get long, and you look for 3,400. And above 3,400, you look for 34.40, 34.50, and just keep using those $50 increments. Amazon doesn't report till Thursday after the bell, so there might be an opportunity, as these reports come in, and I expect them all to beat. I mean, Tesla, I don't know. That's one that I have no conviction about either way. But I believe all the others will report good numbers. Of course, that doesn't factor in what the market response is going to be. We've seen it before where they beat, but then they sell the news. But let's think optimistically here in the short term until we get information that tells us we're wrong. But I think the bias is up. And if you're a bull on Amazon, and I think you have to be with this impulsive move and then this consolidation flag, if you want to anchor a position for the end of the week heading into earnings, I think you do it on a break above 33.50. You set your stop below, and if you get that move higher, then that's where you roll your stops higher. If you get that $50 move and break above 3,400, then you can move up your stops to that point. And, if you're lucky, if you're fortunate, and the market gods are with you, you can get a pre-earnings run heading into Thursday that would do really, really well for you. And even if it doesn't, even if you get half of a move, you've got an opportunity to move up your stops and harvest those gains if there's any kind of backtracking. Google, we've got a consolidation range from 2240 to 2300. So that's $60. Even on this little consolidation, and I call this a flag, impulsive move, consolidation, I think your first target above 2300 is 2360. Why? Because it's the width of the box. You don't want to see price come back in below 2300. I think you want to have it stay above. I think it will with earnings around the corner. I think you get long above 2300 and you look for a move higher. Measured move is $60. So that would be your first target. Netflix, special case here. They pulled the rug. We've identified this trading range here between 515 and 503. We've got the 200 at 503, but we've also got this support level at 500. For me, $500 would be a place to try a long. Why? Because you've got support here and support here. Try that long at 500 with a stop just below. And even if you just get a move back up to the top of the box, you'll be 15 to the good. The other option is just wait for a breakout above 515 and look for a $30 gap fill up to 547. So this would be, and I'll color this in the next time I adjust this chart, but we've got a gap here from 515 to 547. So that has to get filled. And if all the other tech names do well, that'll probably bleed over into Netflix. What would change my mind? A break below 500. If you lose 500 and all of a sudden the NASDAQ gets soft, I think we showed on the daily chart that this would be vulnerable at least down to 490, if not lower. And some additional charts for you here this morning. Been watching TLT really, really close. We had the impulsive move down from 153 down to 132. And now I think what we've had is a bear flag consolidation right up here against the 50. I'm short. I think I communicated that pretty well. I'm short May 140s. And my stop is 140.70 right here at the 50 EMA and the 38% retracement. If that pops, I'm just going to exit it because then it may move, on up here to 143 and possibly 146. But if it breaks down, especially below 138, then I think you'll see more sellers bring it down towards 135. And remember, the associated trade with that is KRE. Lower for TLT means higher rates, which is bullish the banks. And you can see that KRE has been consolidating here between, let's just call it 64 and 68. Had a big day on Friday, up 4%. If KRE can pop 68, I think you can take it long there on the recapture of all the EMAs and above this consolidation range, and look for a measured move of 72 back up to the top. So I would set your alarm at 68 for that. And remember, a lot of the regional banks have not reported yet. So if you want to take a view on the regional banks, I think this is the way to do it on KRE. Get long above 68 and then, you don't have to exit on earnings. Just, look for follow through to the upside. What would change my mind? If it lost 64, then it makes it look like a short, right? Because you've lost this big area of support at 64 and you've lost the 50 EMA, then I think you could come all the way down in here towards the 58, 57 area. So I think 68 and 64 are really important. Couple individual names for you. Oots Snacks broke out on Friday above this trading range. I think you can be long against 26.50 and look for 30. Earnings aren't an issue. They've already reported, and I don't think they report till out in June. So I think Oots is a long here against 26.50 if you're looking for a more stable consumer staple type name. Peloton has earnings on May 6th, sitting right here on key support at like 90, 98-ish, something like that. If you wanted to take a long here against 98 and see if you get a pre-earnings run up towards 105, 110, 115 over the next couple weeks, I think that's pretty objective. There is work to do overhead. You've got all these moving averages that have to be overcome, but you're at key support. What would change my mind? If you lost 98, then I think you're coming down here to 84, where the next big volume over price bar is. So I think this 98 level is really important for Peloton. But ahead of earnings, I don't see it really selling off. I see more chance for a run up than a rug pull, unless, of course, the whole market falls apart and then all bets are off. Last chart for you. Run, the sun run in the solar sector. Of course, this was the Biden bounce right here. Double bottom, bullish divergence. So we had an equal low on price, but with the indicators rising. That's your bullish divergence. And I think if price can pop this downtrend resistance and take out the declining 50 here at 57.64 right here, I think you're going to have a long, and I think you got a chance to go up here $10 higher towards 68, where you've got some lateral resistance. So I would watch the whole solar sector. We remember on Friday we talked about TAN, the solar ETF. That has made a move off of support. I think that's a long. And also there are individual names like Plug and some of the other names in the solar sector that have gotten a lift off of Biden's comments. Plus, they've had a massive, massive correction. So these are due for a bounce. And I think Run is setting up for a move here if, it's always price has got to prove it. If it can pop above downtrend resistance right here and taking out the 50 EMA, then I think you would have a good $10 of running room. If you're new to the channel, thank you for checking it out. I hope you see some benefit to the levels that I point out, giving you a game plan for today. I think, my goal is to unburden you from the technical analysis part of trading, get you to the point where you can trust my levels and have you focus 100% of your efforts on execution. I think that's the challenge for most traders. Knowing when to get long, knowing where to put your stops, knowing when you're wrong. Those kind of things are all executional based. And if you can get to the point of trusting my levels, and I think they're spot on, I think your trading is going to improve dramatically. So hit the like button, hit subscribe so you get all my extra content whenever I publish. And then look over in the show notes where you can visit the blog site. And there's also a link there to register for all my content, my midday analysis, anything I publish after hours or during the day. You will get that in a nice email. And of course, longtime listeners, I really appreciate you staying with me. I hope you continue to see good benefit from the work. Please hit the like button and leave me a positive comment below to let not only me, but others that may be checking out the channel that you're getting benefit. Also, certainly put down any requests for chart work or sector analysis. I'd be happy to do my best to get that done quickly and posted for you all. So, have a good day of trading. We got a lot on the board this week. All the tech earnings, plus Jerome Powell on Wednesday with the FOMC announcement. A lot of stuff on the board. So buckle your seatbelt. I think it's going to be a busy week. And with any luck, I think we can get some good runs on the mega cap names into their prints. So hopefully some very nice active trading opportunities for us this week. This has been Chris Buss with Traders Profit Compass. Talk to you next time.